Love you too. Thank you to Edward. I appreciate that, brother. Thank you to the ADC. Thank you to Dearborn. It's been a great 24 hours here. I'm gonna be here until Monday. It already feels like home. So thank you guys. And it is an honor to receive this award. After Rachel Corey, we grew up close to one another. She went to the same college that I went to. Yeah, she put her values into action, was killed by a bulldozer in Israel in 2003. And her father, Craig, was actually one of the first people that I connected with back in November. And I can't imagine being a father or her mother Sydney and what they have gone through. But I know that Rachel will be proud of how they have continued to live for her in the spirit and the cause of Palestinian freedom. And I can't speak of Rachel without also mentioning Aisha Noor, a recent University of Washington graduate who was senselessly murdered by the IOF last week while protesting illegal settlement expansion and violence in the West Bank. More than 20 years after Rachel was killed, the parallels are impossible to ignore. And just like Rachel, she was a passionate advocate for peace and for justice. Just like Rachel, she felt compelled to travel across the world in solidarity with the people of Palestine. And just like Rachel, she should be alive today. My journey with Palestine started 343 days ago on October 7th. I was on tour here in the States. And as the days went on in October, and the utter desecration of human life continued, I started learning about this conflict that was deemed, quote unquote, complicated. What I learned fairly quickly was how uncomplicated this conflict really was, and how the origin of what started 76 years ago actually sounded very familiar with this country's history of occupation and genocide. I spent a good portion of my time on that tour bus watching the videos coming out of Gaza, the ones that we have been witnessing the last 343 days. Video after video of martyred children the same age as my kids, with their precious bodies being pulled out of rubble. I saw myself and those parents holding their lifeless babies in their arms. I saw my own kids when I saw the children of Gaza screaming over their father or mother wrapped in a white sheet. I saw intentionally stalled aid trucks, the white phosphorus indiscriminately falling from the sky, the targeted hospitals, the refugee camps, the monster schools, and those American-made bombs taking almost everything from the people of Gaza. But I also saw what they couldn't take. Those bombs couldn't take away their faith. Those bombs couldn't take away Palestinian resilience. Those bombs couldn't take away the people of Gaza's pursuit of liberation. And the more that I saw these images day in and day out, I realized that my heart was being opened by the Palestinian people. I was experiencing a daily emotional pendulum between grief and rage, countless tears of utter disbelief watching this genocide take place. I was researching the Nakba, deconstructing Zionism, crying with friends, watching videos, learning about how colonization, capitalism, white supremacy need each other to exist, and how they were at the root of the Nakba 76 years ago that never ended for Palestinian people. I was taking it all in, and I was silent. I didn't want to be labeled anti-Semitic. I didn't want to offend anyone. I didn't want to risk the potential of financial repercussions by taking a public stance. I didn't want to lose fans. I was still thinking about me. And all of this initial fear that I had was backed up by the fact that nobody in the music industry had said anything. The October days continued, my pain was boiling over. I found it almost impossible to perform night after night and pretend like I was okay. I was not okay.